about what the supports bring to the table with your carry pick here.
Yeah, as a Slark spammer, this is like the Slark dream. You have Empower on your own team, you have Grave, you have Kunkka, Boat. There's so many things going for you. It's it's a perfect Slark game so far at least. And VP will have to address it. They'll pick something like a Faceless Void, I think, just to shut it down.
TNC.
So TNC is probably gonna look to ban that hero. Rubik.
Void.
So they think it might be... I mean, they definitely can't just...
Last time they ran 5-position Dazzle and their Ninja Boogie played it, and 3-position Magnus. So I think they're expecting a 4-position hero to come out.
Oh yeah, I mixed it up. I thought TNC banned Rubik. Would make no sense. Yeah.
And Tiny. So
position 4 Tiny?
Position 4 Tiny or Magnus position 4, 1 Magnus Tiny in some order.
Oh, so Void is banned actually.
Give another playmaker, someone to make stuff happen.
Okay, so other than Void, there's not really a premium carry that's super good against Slark. It used to be Anti-Mage, but obviously it's also banned out.
Bloodseeker.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. If you want to lose, go ahead. If they pick Bloodseeker, I'm going TNC.
They might just go back to the Juggernaut or something again?
Yeah, Juggernaut, but...
Lich, then you've got Lich Jug, really strong lane.
Really strong lane.
It's not like a way of dealing with Slark, but you know your 5-man. Slark doesn't want to play against this 5-man type lineup, and I think that's where getting him could work. Or you get like a Terrorblade even.
I could see it.
This is a decent TB game. Maybe a little bit greedy. TB Medusa Tide, but... I
feel like there's no like game-winning last pick, you know? Like it's going to be an average here no matter what. It's not like an auto-win.
Sure.
Whereas oftentimes we see this last pick, suddenly they have like a Terrorblade last pick. Oh, whoa. What do we do now? Not going to happen this game. TNC's lineup is very solid. Power push, late game. Lanes. Not much to complain about. VP, man. Their team fight is impeccable. They have like 4 team fighters. It's ridiculous. But they definitely lack catch. They somehow need to address the catch issue.
They lack any way to really push. I mean, Medusa kind of sort of slow sieges, but if they want to play this fast-paced game and prevent Slark from countering their lineup, you want to try and get racks by like 25 minutes with this Medusa push. That's where the Jug makes sense to me. Right?
What do you think about like a Drow Ranger? Just like go for it?
Oh yeah, Drow's not bad here.
It's very risky against Slark though, late game.
Like, yeah, it goes like both ways in the mid game a bit with the silence, but I think it just doesn't feel like a VP thing, but who knows what they've been practicing and playing at home.
Timbersaw.
Okay.
Can work.
Yeah, this was the hero that started getting picked a lot when Magnus came to play, and there it also was picked a ton against these Kunkka mids. So we're going to see Ramsey
on it's a safe lane Dusa. That's going to struggle so hard against a tiny Madness, though, I think.
But I think they also say he would have struggled mid against the Kunkka, so it's like, okay, let's get a favorable matchup mid with the Kunkka, the Kunkka playing against Timbersaw, and that works a bit better for us.
Of course, one change with the new Slark, you're actually quite good against Timber now, because when you pounce on him, he can't chain out anymore. Timber used to be quite good against Slark, but now goes both ways. So I think if the Slark just gets fat, they have no way to stop him. Like if this Slark gets like a minute 10, 12 Shadowblade threats, he's just going to go completely out of control. His lane is going to be good no matter what against the Tidehunter. I'm a bit scared for VP. They need to somehow...
Was Slark the answer? And this time, Gods, you're going to be making the prediction first.
I gotta screw us up with my terrible predictions.
I'm hoping that's a thing.
I'm just hoping he goes TNC because I was going to go TNC.
Oh, okay. You want me? That means you don't want me to go TNC.
No, I want you to go TNC.
Oh no, I think VP's got this.
Really?
I think that the adjustment. No, I like the adjustment with the last pick Timber. They've got the mid matchup that works for them. I think these two teams playing each other is so much about that Armel versus no one matchup, and VP solved that a bit with the last pick. Yeah, Medusa's not going to have a great time, but I don't think Slark can take over the game against a tied Grimstroke lane.
And I want to go TNC, but I can't go against Lich Grimstroke, man. The combo is just ridiculous. I have to go VP. Just based on draft, VP should have this. The only way...
You had a real opportunity to shine here. Now you're going to predict a VP for the 4th time today.
Welcome to the VP panel.
But the only way VP loses this game is if the Slark goes completely ham. And it can happen.
So you were just selling TNC's line because you were trying to convince me to pick TNC.
Is he just trying to bait you?
He spent the last 3 minutes of the draft telling me how amazing TNC's draft was.
All right. Kyle, Toby, we have a group of analysts that will predict nothing but VP. Who do you guys think is going to be able to take this one?
I will go with anyone that Kyle says and anyone that Black doesn't say. So when the two of these align together, I feel pretty good.
You're a trusty mate.
I think this game goes both ways. I think VP's big advantage here is that there's just not really that much sustained damage on the side of TNC. And sure, if the Slark has this dream game, he can take over, but realistically, they're so beefy on the side of VP, and I don't agree with Black. I don't think his lane is going to be free up against a Grimstroke and a Tide.
Yeah.
30 seconds to battle.
I always find
whoa.
it difficult to go against anything which has the Magnus upgrade. Like, when you get in power, there's ways for recovery. The team fight is really scary if TNC can actually hit it. But they need to hit it straight up, or
Well,
else the Tide, the Deuce, the Timber will all survive through.
Yeah, so they pinged out the Medusa just then because they recognize he actually went side lane items. They know he's not going mid now, and they're going to look to swap lanes. You can already see them doing just now. They're going to put Tide mid, who does very well up against a Kunkka, and they ideally wanted to put Timber in a safe lane solo against a Tiny, but as you can see, TNC, they get the read just based on the items, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
always important
real,
to scout.
That's really smart as well. Like, you kind of always thought the Medusa would go to the side lane anyway, and then no one would be into the mid lane, just because it's their
Ramses,
normal it's their normal places to head to. But yeah, maybe they weren't expecting these exact matchups. But Tim's, he'll scout out as much as he possibly can, just on bottom lane, trying to be a bit more of a pain in the butt. The fact the creep wave doesn't aggro to him allows him just to harass no one as he runs into the lane. And it will be the Sark on the off lane. So aggressive tri-lane in from TNC, trying to get up in the face of the Timbersaw. No one running this, we'll call this the Radiant off lane for the moment. It's the Radiant solo lane.
And this is important. They're going to TP down bottom with the Grimstroke immediately. You already get a free wave on the Timber. If they can contest for this second wave, he's going to hit level 2, and it's much harder for this team to kill him.
I like how Solo's already trying to play with Rio. Rio tried to skewer him back underneath the tier 1 tower and get some extra damage, but won't happen. But bottom lane, there's that tri-lane going to work. It's a 3-man whirling death, the reactive armor, probably not enough regeneration, maybe when Roger, oh, that damage, Tim's one more attack from Roger. The salve will keep Tim's alive. Don't think he'll get in range for another attack. No, he will not. But definitely shows you, wow, really, Slark?
Well played. Really well played. He gets the double cancel into the connection, and that you're totally fine with that trade if you're VP. Look at all the damage and regen they expended.
Yeah. They got hit so heavily by no one to try and bring him down. And you're right, because he's the offlaner, right? So, okay, you give away first blood. Sure, it goes to Tim's. Mid lane's still looking pretty good for the Kunkka. 10-5 versus a 5-0 Tidehunter. I thought this lane would have been a little bit more in favor of the Tidehunter.
No, it's very difficult to out-CS a Kunkka because of the way your Tidebringer affects denies. So he's doing a very good job on Armel of just toggling it constantly to ensure he gets the denies without wasting it for the harass. And Pasha, until he's like level 3 or 4, you can't really compete.
So he just has to wait it out. Top lane's trying to look for their own little fun. Solo's trying to keep the Magnus out of play. So far done a pretty good job. It's 2-0 for the Magnus versus Ramses 10-9. So a lot of denies on that top lane. And Solo can tank through a lot by just popping the Frost Shield on himself. But that doesn't help when he gets pulled back in by the Shockwave.
He's doing a good job, though. You're fine trading. That's the job of a support, is to expend the
They're
resources
going again
of
on
the
bottom.
offlaner.
They're after no one. The stun's out on him. Toss him up. Couple of 6 charges will not do enough. And Roger's stun comes a little too late. The ink swell. I mean, you have to prep a long time before it's required.
It's just going to be important that they establish dominance in this bottom lane. VP is totally fine trading deaths for XP and gold because it's a certain point, the Timbersaw, notably level 6, becomes not just unkillable, but a huge threat on a Slark.
I mean, he's such dicks as well. Toss level 1 from Tim's just throws no one back into the rest of the TNC lineup. They want to leash him and control him. Of course, they'll dodge the stun from Roger now. He's got nothing else to give. No mana left in the tank for an ability. He's just trying to put his body on the line, but that's not the body that TNC want. They want to continuously shut down no one, and I can't help but have your words from Series 1 in my ear. Like, what happens when no one doesn't get a good game?
Well, it's a benefit in this sense, though, that, you know, Ramses is having a completely free time, but I'm saying Wild Deaths aren't a huge deal. VP, you want to try and, you know, minimize the damage a little bit. That was a big death on no one, and that's something you see a lot of teams do nowadays, where if you can get the one kill into the teleport back and immediately kill that core again and force that long walk of shame, you're going to get yourselves out to a nice advantage.
You notice what item Timbersaw has also expended to try and reduce the duration of this walk of shame? He's actually burnt the smoke. You thought Solo was being pretty frivolous with it in the first series. Now no one's doing it. X marks a spot in towards the mid, setting up with Tims to toss him all the way back. Combining with a quick little avalanche. Is there a follow-up? No. Pasha knew the torrent was coming. And he'll end up dodging, gets hit by the Tidebringer, but then salves up knowing he's out of range of the Kunkka.
Armel's doing a great job. Middle, he's super quick on toggling the Tidebringer. He has not squandered it once.
And really trying to stay up in the face of Pasha while bottom lane, the poison touch from Boogie tries to zone out no one. Lich will TP down, so no more Grimstroke on the bottom lane, at least not for the moment.
Yeah, but this is the benefit of 2v1s versus 3v2s, where up top, they've completely shut down this Reor Magnus, and now Medusa's in a position as Ramses. He has 3 Wraith Bands, he can win the lane by himself.
That's actually a nice stroke of fate, goes through Tims and over towards Ninja Boogie, but Gabby getting involved in the fight. Ninja Boogie's got such sustain, both stick charges and the Shadow Wave, but the stun that was on no one allows him to secure the kill for Roger. Still a 1-for-1 trade-off, and Gabby continues to steal up this Essence, looking for a little bit more. No pounce available. He's got high movement speed against Roger, but he'll pull back.
There he has 3 permanent agility as well. Not bad for a Slark. One of the changes, Underlord and Slark now steal agility and strength respectively for the entire game. Or damage, rather.
Ramses, he's got some friends on the way. It's burning through the shield. That's why they replaced it with a new one. But Poison Touch, Ramses, does he have the life? 5 HP, and the one more tick would have done it. Just one more tick would have done it. Meanwhile, Solo's trying to find this solo kill over on the Magnus, but he's back up and around the trees, a quick shockwave out, but Solo does find the blood. He'll lose his life for this as Ninja Boogie would chase him through the tree line, but that one range creep stuck on him. And then on bottom lane, Tims and Gabby looking to go once more. Actually missing the toss he wanted over on the Grimstroke, but it won't stop Gabby from diving underneath the tower, just going after Roger. And mid lane, you're right, the boat is out, looking after the Tidehunter. X marks the spot, should be not pulling him back, it's already gone.
He got close, but if his Tidebringer still did pure damage instead of physical, I think he finds that kill on Tide, but was not enough damage.
And we're really keeping Weapus on his toes for the observing today.
Yeah, for real.
Nice little haste rune for Tims, and he realizes he can't use it at all.
Yeah, but this
Goes back to base. Roger chasing on the bottom lane. Gabby is rotated over, so movements from TNC starting to switch up their lanes.
Yep, and this is the concern though, where you're in a scenario where you have one core on your side that's just not really in the game at all, and the Reor Mag, whereas Timbersaw, even though he's died 3 times, he's now level 5. He's perfectly fine down the bottom lane. You've got to rotate out of there. And you've effectively now got 3 supports on the side of TNC, and Gabby, because he was tri-land, not hitting level 6 as fast as you'd like a Slark.
Yep. This allows no one just to tank up bottom lane. Tims will come to do the defense job. He's at least got some good counter push inside the Tiny once he can find more levels than 3. And then Jaboogi's doing a good job now keeping the Deucer down. So Ramses, is that just that time you want to go jungle?
I think so. It's more about the fact that Ninja Boogie and the entire tri-lane of TNC have now moved towards top. So it's just become a little dangerous up here. And you're already at a point with treads and 3 Wraith Bands that you're strong enough to just farm woods. But we'll see. They did see that Tims was rotating down to the bottom lane, so they know there's max 2 heroes up here. So they probably feel more confident. Armel actually swapping to the bottom lane.
There's a huge stack that he'll probably want to farm up if he's given some space. No one pulled his own creep wave over. He's just building up the reactive armor stack, so even if they do attack into him, that's still 25 armor they have to get through, but Armel won't care as long as he takes the majority of this neutral stack. The TNC has been the ones preparing, and he got a lot of it. 68 CS now over on the Kunkka. His net worth, almost 1,000 above the Deucer. Interesting fun toss. Roger burns everything he's got over on the Kunkka, but X marks a spot. Avalanche hold him in position, and they bring the boat down. But Roger, timing's a little bit off from TNC, so Roger can survive a little bit longer. He'll still die to Tim's fists. but they had to work for it.
That was a great game so far by Armel, going for that typical double bracer that I want to say no one made popular at first, but I could be wrong. Question is, will we see the Radiance Kunkka that China showed off with the minor?
But now it looks like just keeping the damage up is good. Ninja Boogie
Oh,
TP
no.
barely in time.
That's on Ramses. He didn't snake him, and he didn't even auto-attack him. He probably didn't recognize that Roger was TPing in, because they certainly would have had the damage to finish that kill.
Problems for VP. Remember, VP went through one hell of a marathon of full best of 3. TNC's road to this winners bracket match was a lot easier.
It's going to be a really big match here, because I'll be honest, I would not want to face eHome in a decider. Starting the upper brackets, so critical, especially when you consider the way, you win one BO3, and all of a sudden you're top 6. That's enough points to almost guarantee a TI invite.
And VP looked like they had a couple of problems as well in the first series. Like, it didn't look clean. The drafting from eHome was able to be superior as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
On top, this Slark's being bullied a bit by the Dusa. There's no one up here helping him. Yeah, sure, there's a Dazzle pulling a bit, but it's one of the downsides of a tiny
Dire's bottom
support.
tower is under attack.
Just doesn't have the levels to really influence the map at the moment. Level 5, he's just been camping bottom. It's an issue because the Mag is looking to recover middle as well. Armel farming jungle, but we'll see. He's going to go Shadowblade, and I like that choice. He's going to try and get involved early. So
that does make it good for those quick rotations to stop things like this happening, and you can build into a Silver Edge too, right? Against no one, because he's just a beast on the bottom lane. Clark missing the pounce over on Solo. That would have been a guaranteed kill, especially with the rotation from Armel. Woo! Well, that's one way to remove Frost Shield. Kunkka, X marks spot, both coming in too. It's going to connect. No, it actually doesn't exactly. Same with the Ravage. Just a quick Shadow Amulet for Armel. Gives him a little bit of invis and time to buy, while Ninja Boogie chasing down Grimstroke, who begins his own TP. They'll find him in the tree lines, a pounce forward, finds the kill, but then Ramses with a split shot damage kills off Ninja Boogie, and Gabby has to hide in the trees. They're actually TPing back to Shrine up quickly and get back into the fight.
In the meantime, though, Rior, with that DD rune and the Empower on the Catapult in himself, does take that mid tower. Arguably the most important one for a Dire side to acquire.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Kind of almost forget about the Magnus. They've been giving him that mid lane for the last 5 minutes. So he's gotten the levels, he's gotten the farm. Top lane, Armel going in again. Gabby, this time the leech will come in, but so will the Chain Frost. Bounce up and down, but it will not keep the bounce going back into Armel. Tries to go invis again with the Shadow Amulet. Tim's creates some space and then tosses him back up to the Kree Wave, away from no one's Timber Chain. But no one. He's got Shark and Mavarmal, and he goes right through the Kunkka. Knowing where he's hiding, Dazzle, no Shallow Grave leveled up. Even though he's level 6, decided to bypass it.
Dire's top tower
And what a
is under
rotation in from no one. Having all the time to farm, and now he's 2, 3, 4 on the board for KDA.
A little sloppy from TNC because Rior, he does such a great job killing the mid tower, but then he rotates to bottom. He's still not looking to get involved, and TNC are fighting up top like this is going to be an even battle, and it really just is not. The entire squad of VP show up, and they blow the Ravage and
Yeah,
clean up the tower.
Is the Blink Dagger for the Magnus really that important? Especially when the Magnus is probably going to die. Silenced up, Roger staying by him to land the stun, and it's very easy with the Dusa to have enough damage to get through the rest of that Magnus. Putting the shield over on Roger. Actually not triggering the way they would like it to on the Magnus, but he cannot juke it through the tree lines. Very sinister gaze, and the Magnus walks back into him and delays that Blink Dagger timing.
And VP, as always, do a great job of ensuring that Ramses gets the kill. By far the best in the world at giving their star players that extra gold influx from these last hit kills. And here comes the smoke, though, from the side of TNC. It's an Invis Kunkka. Shadowblade's finished.
Worth killing. The Courier was carrying through the Buckler as well as the Crimson Guard, but they decide to let it go. Ramses, X marks spot torrent. They want the core. That's the bigger kill for them, and they claim it too. No one gonna try and find a rebuttal as Tim's is on the run. They've already used their abilities, but with the arrival of the Magnets and the RP, maybe they think twice about it. Nope, no one. Timber Chain's underneath the tier 1 tower. Tim's gonna toss him up, but that won't stop no one from just charging forward, especially when he's got the Frost Shield on him. slow down everyone that wants to attack him, then find an easier target. Ninja Boogie, Shark him to cut the trees, making a faster line over towards him,
He's so
and now
deep.
even in the lane. And now with the double chain frost out, how do you actually stop this? The creep wave kept it alive a very long time, and Lich can now back up a little bit further, but he doesn't have enough life to get up the ramp and away to safety. The Dazzle still did end up dying, but took the attention of both Pasha and No One.
Look at the
They're not out
inventory on Solo, by the way. He's in his depth. He purchased sentries. He's got 6. They're ready for the Shadow Blades.
I love Armel lining up with the Radiant Creep Wave to get the cleave onto both the heroes. The Ravage from Pasha, he's actually going to blow it, trying to get some distance, but the X marks the spot and ship is still going to come in and kill him off.
We're watching the Armel show right now, Toby, and that's what we're going to need to continue keeping the channel tuned to if you'd like to see a TNC victory. So far, doing a great job. They have the Shadow Blade up on Kunkka, almost finished on Slark, but as I said, Solo, he's aware of how this game is going to be played out, and I expect to see him placing sentries all over the high grounds and towers to ensure his course stays safe. And another smoke from TNC, this time looking ahead, possibly towards the top shrine area of the jungle, just continuing to hunt Ramses, who has yet to skill his ultimate.
Nice entry ward. They find Mel. Riola's in the neighborhood. He's got Blink Dagger available and RP, but No One and Solo nicely split up. But it doesn't matter when Armel can just TP away to safety. Where are these stuns available when Ravage is down? And you have a Timbersaw and a Tidehunter just standing there.
Yep. Shadowblade going to be finished as soon as Gabby finishes these stacks. TNC going to try and continue just staying aggressive. It's very important that they're a tempo lineup. They want to find that initial kill and then chase for more. VP, you're looking to just bait, get a nice turnaround with an RP. We already saw how willing they are to play. Oh no!
The Magnus! They didn't have enough for this. Armel will come in and clean up a lot of it. He walked into the middle and just got whacked down by the Prowler, and Gabby didn't really seem to want to get into that. Oops.
Oops, indeed.
Meanwhile, Virtus Pro taking bottom lane. But Armel's got even more money now. Building into the armor. He's going to go for the ship. I don't think he gets in range. Okay, he'll get in range to cut once, but they'll still lose the bottom tier 1. The courier gets sniped up by Gabby. That had the ultimate orb on it. That was, okay.
Vision here. This could be a dead Lich.
Yeah, it could be. But then again, they put them together, and here we go once again. Let the Chain Frost fly. Dazzle will buy back quickly, looking to stay involved in this engagement. Needs to try and keep Gabby alive and fighting. They empower him up. Where are these RPs? You've still got Blink Dagger RP available. I haven't seen it used. He's had the Blink Dagger for a good 3 to 4 minutes.
You can't kill these guys. The Bash brothers are way too tanky.
Well, they still decide to skewer underneath the tower. No one's happy to fight, but he's running very low on mana. Arcane Boots off cooldown in 2 seconds time, but a triple kill in from No One. He wants to get more. Gabby does not have the Shadow Dance. They burn the Ravage. It's an ultra kill for No One. 17 minutes in. They really are the Bash brothers.
They're not afraid of anything, Toby. Like, you're walking around with near 4,000 hero combined, 4,000 health rather, with a Vlad's and a Crimson Guard. Like, they were talking about the Slark snowballing. How do you kill a Timbersaw as TNC?
You need the Silver Edge, right? And you're seeing actually where Timbersaw spent almost all of his time as well with that heat map. Everything is on the bottom lane, and all the kills have been on the dire side of the river. Aggressive and behind the tier 2 towers.
How you gotta play it. It's snowball hero. You get ahead and all of a sudden you're just too damn tanky. Requires 2 or 3 enemy heroes just to stop you from diving, let alone actually threaten you. And they're gonna smoke on the side of TNC. I don't know if this is the way they're trying to play this game at the moment. It might be more of a time to split push, or maybe a cute Roche play.
Oof, nope. They don't have enough damage for Roshan. The Dire are scanning up the hill. They won't find anyone there. I think they're probably still just looking for the Deucer. They have the jump power. There's Gabby who can come under the cover of the Shadow Blade. They do not want Pasha. Sentry wards go down. Slark has to cut his way out through the tree lines. The creeps actually hold him in. So it's the Sinister Gaze pulling Gabby back down. No other choice but to pop the ultimate, the Shadow Dance away to safety. Damn, No One really wants to find these kills. He just chains forward. Anything he can find. Tim does find one thing underneath his own Observer ward. Using that 4-4 combination of Avalanche Toss. Roger, no stun available from him either.
It will give away the ward, though, I think. Roger, he's going to bring the courier out. Yeah, because they don't want to waste another sentry. They already have the one on the low ground. And it's just so critical that you have these sentries against double Shadow Blades.
But then Slark can just find another fight. Roger in real trouble, being pulled back down again by the Shockwave, keeping him in range of the Slark's attack. And then X marks the spot. Marsha, they just go from one to the next, pull him back in. The boat will crunch. And Tylander, no Ravage available, still on cooldown for 20 seconds time, but he doesn't matter when he's got that very thick hide. TNC just can't break through. There's observe wards from both sides up on top of the hill, so both have extra information, but look for an easier target. Over towards the ledge. Solo dies once again.
This is how you want to play the game, though. Just keep finding these pickoffs. They've got this great vision placed. Continue playing around it. Find kills on supports. Threaten for more. And then when you force the rotations and the TPs from these big tanky cores, you can back off. But this is exactly how you want to play this kind of lineup on the side of TNC.
As long as Gabby can keep being involved in this too, just watch that agility start to rack up.
Yep.
19, 20 minutes in, up to the 6 permanent agility stolen. 20-minute bounty runes will start to appear. So there'll be contest over this.
There will be a Scotty finished on the Medusa now, and VP all of a sudden a lot stronger. Might look to threaten Roshan. They won't take any damage from doing so, and as long as they can avoid a massive RP Kunkka combo, there's not a ton of AoE to worry about when you compare their massive team fight.
Kunkka actually doesn't have a lot of mana to work with, and in fact they're not even there. TPs are now coming back over from Kunkka, drops everything. Quick one charge that actually gives them enough to fight with. Ninja Boogie's looking at the front lines. Torrent connects over on 4. Make it 5 if you count Roshan, and Magnus, he's ready for the jump in, but they're not finding the exact opening they want. Tim's will be the one who can jump in. He's got the Blink Dagger available. But they're swarming like sharks, TNC, around the Roche pit. There's your jump in from the Tiny. Avalanche and toss. Roshan down to 800 HP. Magnus still waiting. The Ravage able to actually clip on him. And they've already got the kill over on Tiny. Magnus, now there's your blink in with the RP. The follow-up as well with the poison, but the double chain frost is going to really start bouncing back down again. This is horrendous for TNC. The Aegis Immortal, of course, did manage to get into the hands of the Slark. So he'll pounce himself away. But that's still Kunkka and Tiny down. Lotus Pro did... Actually, that's not that bad for TNC when you think about it.
They got the Roche kill and a tower off that, so the gold disparity really doesn't change too much. Yeah, you're going to lose some farming time on Armel, but I bring this up a lot. He spent his gold before he died. He got those 2 parts of the BKB, so he's not really losing gold. Obviously, you want to be on map and not dying. You give away bounty, but it's just making the best of a crappy situation.
And it's not like VP can really capitalize on it. Like, they've got no Aegis to push in. Their Ravage is down. TNC's RP is down. So everything just goes back to the status quo. But is that actually in your favor for your TNC? Mainly knowing that Rams is getting bigger and bigger. He's the number 1 net worth on the field. No one seems to be untouchable. Even the Tidehunter is very difficult to kill off. Yep, though with the Silver Edge up, Tims comes in for the Avalanche toss. They're just breaking no one in half. But then again, here comes your Frost Shield. Here comes your support from Solo and Roger. No one pulled in, but then he just Timber Chains away from the boat of Kunkka. And they're looking to hunt. Gabby's Shadow Dance is worn off. He's got Silver Edge available once more. So if they want to turn to no one, he's got the opportunity to do so, but there's 5 Furious from Virtus Pro ready to fight. Even an early Gem of True Sight on the Tidehunter. So no hiding inside the Shadow Blades.
And you can see this is the way VP wants to play. Enough with the shenanigans, enough with the guerrilla warfare. They're putting on the red coat uniforms and just walking in straight lines. And it's kind of what you got to do when you're playing against lineups like the one TNC is currently running. It's just so frustrating to play against the Slark when your lineup is this slow with no, you don't really have a true Slark counter. The Timbersaw counts, but you can't catch him.
So your only other choice is to force down the lanes, right? Like, get a better trade-off. But while you've got Slark creep skipping, you've got Tim's doing exactly the same thing. He's going to intercept the creep wave in the mid, making it so VP have to keep this creep wave alive.
And that's difficult when you consider Magnus is just going to spam shockwaves from safety. Bear in mind, another concern with the side of VP.
Well, there's your jump in, grabbing Solo, and he doesn't have enough life to survive this as the Frost Shield just stays in range, so Tims, who's shallow graved up, will stay low and stay slow. Can't back up. Both dead without buyback and your RP.
Oh no, they
caught the Deucer, but your Ravage, it'll create a little bit more space. And no one, he's in the middle of this entire engagement. Turn on the Stone Gate. Ninja Boogie can't go anywhere. 3 heroes without buyback. Randy's copying a lot of damage from the tier 4 towers. He's out of mana, but Gabby needs to kill off this Deucer. He has no other choice inside the Shadow Dance. He's able to do it. Narmel, a triple kill now for the Kunkka. It was him that got it with the cleave damage. Even regathering up the gem, no one could not pick it up. And they may even have another chance. X marks the spot. No torrent follow-up, just keeping him there, ready for the Slark to attack, but without the Silver Edge ready, they do not want to fight that Timbersaw.
And that fight is completely different if they aren't able to deny the Aegis in the pit. It's the game changer. If Medusa is able to play with that confidence, they're going to be able to fight differently. I mean, great RP from Rior. They whiffed the boat completely. I don't think they expected the skewer. But a little bit of a miscue, but that's the not the downside, but the danger of playing this wombo combo. It's got to happen so fast, and getting it perfect is always going to be challenging.
But they're definitely showcasing the fact of like the amount of damage, like the top 2 damage dealers in that last fight went to the Timber as well as the Kunkka. Kunkka just finding these great cleaves, and they're looking to get into more action. A smoke up from TNC on the hunt. No one is going to be the primary target. Gabby, Invis, and man, they couldn't have had this any better. Silver Edge to crack him, the boat will come in, and that's a very dead Timbersaw, down for a minute and a bit.
Smoke to the bounty rune. Tried and true strategy. Probably going to see that a lot at this tournament.
Is the economy actually, like, it's worth that much, right, to pick up the bounty rune? Because we always have the teams contest for it.
The problem is if you start giving them away, you're effectively giving away a lead. So if you're confident that in a certain timing, like 5-10 minutes from now, you'll just take the game for sure, then by all means, go for it. But at this stage of the game, it's just so much money.
Ninja Boogie trying to come in to do the D-ward. Gabby's able to reveal this pretty easily when his Shadow Dance turns off. He's looking for a hunt. That's going to be a little too deep. But this one is a lot more achievable. Ramsey's caught out near the tier 2 tower. Looking to break him. They pull him back in. They're using both controls as the leash is still available. But Gabby realizes he doesn't have enough damage to get through Ramsey's. Kunkka will come up as well. Pops the Ravage. It'll only connect over on the Slark. And he'll go Invis. And inside the Shadow Dance begins his TP. And they cannot stun him because they can't see him. Huge abilities going down for Virtus Pro. And they didn't find the kill they wanted.
Man, Gabby and Armel are both playing so well, pushing their limits to the max. Just their decision making combined with their aggression. It's insane. He has 21 stacks on Slark, and he just got the Ravage burn. They have a full 2 minutes where he can just run around the map with no real threat whatsoever.
And now their itemization is getting even better to enable them. Tim's going to get pushed up. The fight's coming in. Ninja Boogie's nearby, a double poison touch. No one's going to go into the fight, but he already gets broken once from the Silver Edge. The RP is ready to go. Blink in 1 second time, and that's exactly what he does. Blink straight into the fight, holding in both Timber and Dota. They were meant to be the unkillable, but Ninja Boogie of all players, come on with Armel. We'll take the kills.
Perfect play from TNC. They recognize their timing advantage. The Slark is strong. There's no Ravage. You're not afraid of Medusa Timbersaw anymore because you know there's no actual follow-up. There's no peel. These heroes are just going to die, especially now that you have that Silver Edge finished on Slark.
And BT's available, really, for Tiny. So he's to the front lines as quick as he can. Actually brought the BKB for Slark. So the best courier you could have asked for. No one throws down the chakram, and they're actually tossing in no one with Tims holding him in position. The silence is down and the boat, and it's a dieback for the Timbersaw. No one is down for 86 seconds without buyback available. Still no Deucer up either. Oh boy, this has escalated very quickly for Virtus Pro. TNC, they've got double Silver Edges. They'll miss the skewer back, but it won't stop them from claiming the bottom lane of Brax. With Timber dead for so long, they can go for more. Tims, he's looking for a toss-back target, anyone to bring in range of the attack. And now, maybe Chain Frost keeps the distance. Oh, really? That bounces all the way out to Armel and back over. Okay, just let it keep going. Sure, why not?
TNC, no.
This is a huge lead that they can throw away. That's a Kunkka with a huge spree. It goes to solos, that's the upside at least, but maybe overstaying their welcome?
Just a little bit. I mean, that's a perfect demonstration of the last 2 minutes of both the strength and the weakness of TNC. They are so good at capitalizing on advantages and so bad at recognizing when they've got all they can get and it's time to go.
It looked like they're still like, there was like, what, 3 missed initiations underneath tier 4 towers to try and grab
those are
VP?
fine. You're fishing. It's all good. But at a certain point, when your boat is full to the brim, you can pull the lines in and take it back to shore. Like, there's no need after the skewer misses to go in and try and toss back on top. It's fine. You know, 8K gold lead. They only lost Armel. Not out in, you know.
Yeah, they show they can deal with both the Timbersaw as well as the Deucer. I still think they have a lot of issues with the being held together by Soulbind and Double Chain Frost.
Yeah,
like, they're always grouped up for this.
And bear in mind, like, they got such a big lead because they capitalized on their huge window. Slark is a hero. Ooh.
Underneath the tower, he would really like to go for it, but they almost need to skewer him back away from the tower.
Just bear in mind, that fight was taken when Slark had a bonus 60 agility, not counting the 10 he had permanently. It's a snowball hero, not like... You don't want to fight into Slark with stacks. It's like rule number 1. That was the fight that TNC wanted. VP gave it to them, so be it. Roche is going to spawn in a minute and a half, and that's going to be an even engagement. TNC, you got to be careful, because it's still real difficult to fight into the Medusa Tide combination.
Yeah.
And so far, it's been the Armel show. I feel like every single engagement starts with an X into Torrent, followed by like an X into Boat, and immediately 2 VP heroes are dead, and TNC just wash over him like a tsunami. I don't think that that's something you can count on when you consider the vision advantage and the radiant advantage of fighting near the pit.
Do you actually like this build coming in from Armel too, where he's going for the heart, as opposed to the Daedalus?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't mind it. It does give you a ton of damage, and the status resist is incredible when you're playing against Tide, but yeah, we'll see. I think he's got BKB already. I have no idea. I'm not a Kunkka player. I'll trust Armel.
Seems like a lot of defense items being put into the Kunkka where you think he's going to be doing a lot more damage. And the aggression items in the MKB is coming in for the Slark. A lot of sentries everywhere from both sides. Trying to keep vision control. They don't want Gabby just walking up to them. Double silver edges make it difficult. But also an invis rune on the Magnus. Okay, yeah, okay. You put an urn charge on him. I think they understand there's a sentry nearby, but Gabby still decides to walk into it. Torrent will connect on the Deucer. Remember, there's 2 heroes who are not here at the moment. That's Tims and No One. No one's on the bottom lane.
Yeah, this is the issue with the VP lineup, where they just don't have real catch. They have great team fights, sure, but they're being punished because Armel and Gabby can just continuously push their limits, and they're never really punished. Specifically, Armel, he just operates with impunity, and at any point he can catch a support in an X, and that guy's gonna die.
Roshan's being done. Tims has already added a lot of momentum to the bottom lane, so PP they have to be quick about this, or else they're going to have a really, really bad trade-off on the bottom lane. And now Ravage catches over on 3, and the double Soulbind Chain Frost is already out. Kunkka, well, actually they're just BKB. They don't give a crap. They stand their ground. No one's already been broken because they got the double silver edge. They can even chain this stuff. And then you find the kill on the Grimstroke. Ramsey's isolated. Deucer is the last one to kill off, and she held that stone gaze for so long. Kunkka will die. But Slark is on the hunt, and your RP, finally, it has been used. The double buybacks in from Virtus Pro. They want to help out Ramses. Titan and Grimstroke, they're on their way, TPing out towards the shrine. Ramses with a shallow. Is he actually going to live long enough? It's actually Slark with the shallow who stays alive long enough. And with the double torrent, maybe now Armel Show can turn back on. 4 buybacks in total committed in from Virtus Pro. And still, maybe they have enough from this. TNC is a triple kill for Ramses. Now you bring him in from TNC over to Deucer. Does Ramses have enough to survive? They're staying on top of Pasha's removed a lot of the damage thanks to the anchor smash. And now maybe they do. Yep, they go after Ramses. He's the primary target. Pasha's body blocking him up. All right, you kill him on the way through. Why not? They're both dead for 2 minutes, and GG is finally called. Virtus Pro threw everything, including the kitchen sink at TNC, and TNC threw it straight back in their face.
Yep, and I think it's just a well-played game by TNC. They executed their lineup to perfection. I think that VP